if you look at who you are and what all you did today, you will realize that we are essentially the sum of our habits. But changing habits is never easy, simply because, well, it's a habit. So let's discover 5 simple, tiny steps that we can take with easy algorithms to change our life completely, and one bonus tip at the end. Hey there, this is Chetna and you're on Chet Chat, and this content is also available as a podcast on Skill Up with Chet Chat, available exclusively on Spotify. Let's talk about those 5 tiny steps that we need to take, little easy things that we can do to change our life completely. Step number 1, use the if-then algorithm. Okay, how does a Tesla learn to drive itself? Well, the answer is algorithms. Let's program ourselves into an auto drive mode or an auto habit mode. This is how the if-then algorithm works. If I'm buying lunch at the office, then I will order a salad. If I'm going to class, then I will take the stairs. And if it's afternoon, then I will have water instead of coffee or tea. If I arrive at the office, then I will do 2 hours of deep work. If I wake up in the morning, then I will meditate for 5 minutes. Basically, if situation, then action makes it super easy. Now, whatever the situation arises, we simply execute the algorithm. Now, write down below as a comment your goals and your if-then algorithms that you are going to start using from today. Step number 2, habit stacking. If you observe Michael Phelps before he entered a big race, you will notice that each time he follows the same routine. He would walk out to behind the blocks, stretch his legs on the blocks, 2 different stretches, one at a straight leg stretch and the other with a bent knee. Left leg first always. Next, he would take his right headphone out. Once they called his name, he would take his left headphone out. Then he made sure that the block was dry before stepping onto it, and once out there, he did the usual double arm swing, slapping his back, and then he waited for the beep and dove into the water and started swimming. Now, this is not about swimming, but Michael Phelps to this day is the most decorated Olympian of all times, with 23 Olympic gold medals and 28 medals in total. And if you look closely, you will notice that his routine is basically a series of if-then plans following each other. If I stand behind the blocks, then I will stretch my left leg. If I have stretched my left leg, then I will stretch my right leg. If I have stretched my right leg, you are getting the drift. All you need to do is if-then stack one habit after another. This strategy of grouping a sequence of behaviors together into a routine is called habit stacking. Example, here's my habit stack for my morning routine. Wake up, 5 minutes of quiet meditation, wash up, change into my walking gear. Drink water, wear shoes, and drive towards the walking area in the car. 5 minutes of physiological sighs. I'm going to teach that to you separately. Walk for 1 hour, drive back home, have an ABC juice, sit down and write my tasks for the day. You get the drift. One habit becomes the cue for the next habit. A simple if-then habit stacking. Now give me your list of habits and share your routines with us as a comment below. Step number 3, default effect. Now this graph shows the percentage of people across a number of European countries who are willing to donate their organs after they die. As you can see, there is a huge difference between the countries on the left and the ones on the right. Why do you think that is? It's actually quite simple. It's not a major cultural difference at all, which is probably what you're thinking. The difference is, the form that they get to sign up for organ donation, the design of that form in every country is different. Few of these countries have an opt-in design, which means you have to actually tick mark the box if you want to donate your organs. And people tend not to tick mark extra boxes. And in the countries where it has a higher kind of, organ donation, they have an opt-out design, which means if you don't want to donate the organs, you need to tick the box. And basically, inertia is the king. People choose to stay with what they already have. In psychology, this tendency is called the default effect. Example, if you have mithai on your kitchen counter, you're likely to eat it. If you have credit cards in your wallet, you're likely to spend the money. If you have games on your phone and you're going to like them, you're definitely going to play them. If you have your WhatsApp on your laptop, you're likely to keep checking it. So, step number 3 is to remove the obvious temptations from your environment. Example, keep your phone outside your room at night. Don't fill your fridge with ice cream. Don't buy packaged food as far as possible. Whatever is your goal, design your environment accordingly. Step number 4, use commitment devices. Now, in the Odyssey, the ancient Greek author Homer, he tells us a story about the king Odysseus. Now, apparently, on his way back from the Trojan War, Odysseus was about to sail past the Sirens. Now, this was very risky because these Sirens were kind of seductive and dangerous creatures. Now, these sailors would get so spellbound that they would steer towards the Sirens' island and shipwreck onto the rocky coast. He ordered the sailors to tie him to the mast. That way, he could safely listen to the Sirens' beautiful music, and since he was tied up, he didn't have to worry. Similarly, we need these kind of commitment devices that can literally tie us down. Remember that we have no superhuman willpower. So we need simple things to help us change our lives. Example, let's say you want better sleep. Remove the bedroom television. Use an electronic timer for your router. Let's say you want better nutrition. Then you want to buy snacks in small packages. And you want to use small plates and small glasses. Now you want to exercise maybe. Go get an annual gym membership. If you pay upfront, you're more likely to sort of stick with it. Hire a personal trainer, and then you start feeling accountable like, hey, I need to go to the gym because someone's waiting for me. Or team up with a friend or a group. You'll be more likely to show up if others expect it to you. Now share with me your commitment devices right now in the comment section. Step number 5. This is my favorite one, the habit reward lottery. Now Simbi is my little doggo, and while training her, I discovered something very interesting. Whenever I wanted to teach her how to sit, initially the best strategy is that every time she's successful, you reward her. If you don't, she kind of gets confused, she thinks she's done something wrong. But later on, once she has learned how to sit, I figured that it was better to reward her only some of the time. Interesting. By making the rewards unpredictable, what were we doing? We were able to make the behavior even stronger. How? When you reward a behavior only some of the time, you add the word maybe into the equation. And in the words of neuroscientist Robert Spekoisky, maybe is addictive like nothing else out there. Uncertainty boosts dopamine. So we know that dopamine is released when you are anticipating a reward. Interestingly, if you add uncertainty to the same reward, that dopamine levels shoot through the roof. The higher the levels of unpredictability of a reward, the more dopamine will come pouring into the brain. You're thinking that this explains why people spend hours and hours playing casino games where they are extremely unlikely to win. Okay, so you're thinking, how do we use this for our advantage? I set up something called a habit reward lottery. It's fun, it's simple. For example, you want to become a good runner. In that case, what are the kind of rewards that you're looking at? Water bottles, a pedometer, a heart rate monitor, new running shorts, running shoes, entry to a marathon, which could be like a jackpot. Now, once you've established your prizes, write them down on some sort of pieces of paper and put them into a little bowl. Now mix it up with 3 times the number of blank tickets and mix all of them into a bowl. Once you've completed your task, let's say you ran today, go to the bowl and pick up a ticket. Now, whether or not you get the winning ticket, your dopamine levels will surely spike. You will be so excited about running tomorrow just to find out, hey, have I won the lottery or not? And that is enough to make you a good runner. And now for the bonus tip. The bonus tip is to let your friends drive you. What does that mean? Research has shown that if our neighbor gets a new car, we're most probably likely to go and buy a new car. Or if our friend is late for class, we too will be more inclined to come in late. People around us deeply influence the kind of person that we become. We need to make sure that we establish positive social influence around us. For example, you want to study sincerely. You will be much more likely to make that happen if you team up with a study partner, or hire a personal tutor, or join a group coaching class. Surrounding yourself with the right people, and automatically you will find that your behavior just sort of adapts naturally to theirs. Okay, so there you have it. 5 simple, easy algorithms and 1 bonus tip to program your mind to change your life. Now, what I want you to do is to share your own learnings with me. How do you form your good habits? And thank you so much for listening. Do press the subscribe button and the like button below this, and see you next Friday.